Hey, what's up? Steve Cortica coming at you with a mouthpiece playtest. Today I have the Boston Sax Shop S-Series mouthpiece, my Syos signature piece, and the Vandoren V16 9 large chamber piece. All of these have a very similar tip opening to them, but you'll hear what's beyond the tip opening can really drastically change the sound of the mouthpiece. Let's hear a chromatic scale on the three of these, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about what I thought the differences were. Before we do that though, feel free to click like and subscribe below just so that you don't miss any other future playtests. I'm always going to be trying out what I think is the best gear and trying to talk about it in the most honest way possible. Here we go, chromatic scale. One thing I noticed during this chromatic scale test is that the low-end response of both the Vandoren and the Syos piece was really, really solid and really, really free-blowing and warm. And I found the BSS piece to be a little bit more resistant at the bottom end of the mouthpiece, but it still was free and open down there. It's just compared to the other two, I definitely noticed a difference. I'm using this exact same Boston Sax Shop 2 reed on all three of the mouthpieces as well. I've also heard people say that if you use the same reed on different mouthpieces, it's going to affect its ability to respond on the different pieces. While no playtest is perfect, I tried to keep as many of the factors the same as possible with regards to trying these different pieces. Whenever I do a playtest, I like to do 3 different styles, contrasting in range and technique as well as just vibe. So the first thing I'm going to do is a ballad just to kind of check out the softer side of these mouthpieces, and that's going to be Duke Ellington's I Got It Bad and That Ain't Good. So my Syos signature mouthpiece, I was drawn to it just because of the ability it has to be very, very versatile. So I feel comfortable using this piece on jazz gigs, I feel comfortable using this piece on pop gigs, and anything in between those two. Maybe not classical music. The Syos signature has an extra large chamber, which is something I've never played on before I tried the Syos mouthpiece. And what I think is so unique is it has this really large chamber, but it still has a brightness to it and a nice shine to it that allows it to project in a really, really good way. Because of the larger chamber, I feel like the intonation is a little bit more squirrely. It moves a little bit more, but saxophone in general I find to be a very out-of-tune instrument, and I'm okay with that. One other thing worth mentioning is the Yamaha C1 neck that I'm playing on has a very narrow size to it, so the Syos mouthpiece being played on that C1 neck is a very interesting combination, and I think produces this really unique sound with the two of them put together. So the next example I'm going to play is some giant steps, and I'll talk a little bit about the S series mouthpiece after we hear this example. So the S-Series mouthpiece is just a lot of fun to play. It has a very unique sound to it because of this horseshoe chamber that it uses, and the tip rails are also very, very thin on this mouthpiece. This makes it so that you have to line up the reed very, very accurately in order to get the precise type of response you're looking for, but that should just force you to be more particular about how you're setting up your gear in the first place. I'm also using the Boston Sax Shop ligature, which I also found to be a really great throwback to ligatures of previous designs with some really cool modernization to it. One thing that I was also pleasantly surprised on is the altissimo on this mouthpiece is also really, really great. I could play super high on it with just a 2-strength reed, and I was using the 115 opening, which is the equivalent to an 8-star actually. This is offered in a 7-star and 8-star tip opening. So the next example I'm going to play is a GuttBuckett kind of style blues, and this really helps drive home the specific differences between the three pieces. So part of the reason I stopped playing the Vandoren V16 mouthpiece was because a lot of the gigs I play with the Brian Newman band really have me push the horn and push the gear that I use to the very, very most extreme place that I can put it to. And I guess this could just be a volume thing, but we also do play really, really soft stuff dynamically too when we're playing ballads and things like that. So I really needed a setup and a mouthpiece where I could do both of those things really, really well and really, really comfortably. When I started using the Syos piece, I found that I was just going to have an easier time, and I was able to reach new heights with my Syos signature mouthpiece that I couldn't get on the Vandoren piece. I just felt like I would hit a ceiling on that V16 mouthpiece. So that was overall what got me to switch. Thanks so much for checking out this playtest. I really appreciate you if you've made it this far. And if you have made it this far, I have some good news on both the Syos mouthpieces and the Boston Sax Shop site. You can receive discounts. If you use the code SKSyos, you'll get a 5% discount off of any mouthpiece in the Syos store. And if you use the code Cortica, which is my last name, you'll get a 10% discount one time only off of any item in the Boston Sax Shop store. That could be cases, that could be mouthpieces, that could be necks, that could be reeds. The combination of those two codes, though, is going to help you to get some really cool gear and save some money at the checkout. If you haven't already, go to www.stevecortica.com for a free download of an etude and subscribe to my website. I'm always adding new stuff there as well, saxophone and music related. Hope you're doing well. See you around.